Birds of Prey number 19, written by Christy Marks, art by Romano Molinar. So last issue, Mr. Freeze busted in demanding Strix and then abducted Starling. And then this issue picks up right in that same spot of, hey, give me Strix or else I'll kill Starling. She will know where to go. Have at you. You have 1 hour. So we open up with that text and then everyone's like, okay, let's lay out a plan here. What do we do? How do we figure out what's going on? First off, why is Mr. Freeze even interested in the Talons? And they recap that Mr. Freeze developed the technology to basically revive them from being frozen, and he feels like he got gypped, so now he's swearing revenge. And Black Canary's like, okay, whatever. Here's what we're going to do. We are going out to find that. Condor, I want you to stay here and monitor the, radio or whatever. And Condor's like, okay, hold on. I'm getting the vibe you don't trust me. And Canary's like, what? No, I didn't say that. And she's like, all right, I understand that you don't know that much about me, but, I did help you that entire time that you were back there in Japan. So maybe just trust me a little bit. And then Batgirl lays out the whole thing of all right, we know for a fact that you managed to get your wings back even after they're destroyed, which shows that you have some sort of money connections. We also know that based off your accent, you have the some Russian in there. You put on a really strong American accent, but even in your more stressed out moments, you let the tiniest bit slip that you are apparently American Indian. How close am I? And Condor's like, okay, maybe you know a little bit about me, but I still am on your side. And while you were doing your little Nancy Drew thing, Strix walked away. And they look around and like, crap, she's going to do this on her own. She can't do it. It's too powerful. We got to go help her. So at that point, Condor's like, I'll fly over the city and see if I can get a lock on her. And Batgirl's like, I'll go on the rooftops to see if I can get a lock on her. And Black Canary says, I'll go get some gear because I can't do those things. So she goes in the locker room and she has a flashback to her time with Kurt, her dead husband, and their time in Team 7 where they were in a sparring match and Canary got the upper hand on Kurt, and Kurt's starting to say wow, I've never been beaten up so badly by, and she's like, oh, by a woman? Huh? You got something against women? And he's like, no, I was going to say by anybody. You did a good job. And then it walks away. And Amanda Waller, who's also on Team 7, was like, hey, seems like you got a little chip on your shoulder. You kind of need to not do that. So she goes and apologizes to Kurt. But as she's doing so, Kurt uses some kung fu whatever to knock her on her ass. And he's like, yeah, no, apology accepted. Why don't we go out to dinner sometime? So then we go back. Both Condor gets a lock on Strix and tells Batgirl and says, yeah, I don't really know how to talk to her, but you do, so I'm just going to let you handle this because she's not running to Mr. Freeze. She's scared and is running the opposite direction. So Batgirl goes up and sees her just cowering on a rooftop, and she's like, hey, Strix, what you doing? And Strix writes out that it's a bad place and she doesn't want to go back. And she's like, okay, but we really need to save Starling, so can you get it together? And she writes out, okay, yeah, I'll show you. So at that point, Condor is flying Black Canary there while Batgirl and Strix are on a motorcycle. And Black Canary has this moment of, I kind of like being held in the big old muscular arms of Strix here, Condor. And they have a little mild flirting until they arrive, and Strix just kicks in the door of this place. And inside are two Court of Owls scientists. You know they're Court of Owls scientists because they're wearing the Court of Owls masks, despite the fact that you can't see anything out of those masks. But regardless, they bust in and say, where's Starling? Give us Starling. And they're like, what, you mean the bird? We don't do animal testing. We only operate on people. And he's like, no, Starling is a person. Where is she? And they're like, we don't know what you're doing here, but this is a private lab. Please leave. And then they see Strix there and okay, the failure, the one who sucks so much. That makes sense. And everyone's just kind of looking at each other on the verge of fighting. And they're like, okay, but if Starling isn't here and Mr. Freeze isn't here, why did Mr. Freeze tell us to meet him here? Unless we were just leading him here on because he didn't know where it was. And then Mr. Freeze walks in. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I made you do. You guys are pretty stupid. And so he throws out his freeze gun at Strix, who starts attacking him. She gets frozen solid. Condor comes up in a sneak attack, tackles him, manages to deflect some of the ice. Black Canary does some big moves, and as she's starting to try to get the upper hand on him, she yells out for help. Mr. Freeze yells out for help, and all of a sudden there was a kick to Black Canary's face, and wouldn't you know it, the kick came from Starling. And Black Canary says, "You've gone over to his side?" And she says, "No, sweets, I was always on his side." Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here's the thing. This was one of those fold-out covers, and it's 100% spoiled by the fold-out part of the cover. So to have it as the ending cliffhanger, I mean, I get it, but at the same point, like, if your cover gives it away, is it really a cliffhanger anymore? That being said, I do wonder whether or not this is going to be played straight. Starling is such a, I don't want to say D tier, but that's being generous, character in the DC universe that I could see her just being made a villain and nobody would really care. It's not like Poison Ivy or Harley Quinn or anything. It's Starling. I could see it happening, especially now that they have Batgirl, Strix, and Condor. They could just make a full shift over to a new team. So I don't mind the twist. I don't mind the issue as a whole. I think it's fine. I think we probably should have cut the 2 pages devoted to, oh, Kurt, and then, oh, Condor, to give Strix a little bit more breathing room on, oh, hey, I don't want to go back to the place that brainwashed me and put me in this horrible hellspace of a mindset. Instead, we get 1 page devoted to that, and it's not exactly a good turnaround. So, a little weak there, but overall, art's fine. Everything else, I don't really have a problem with. I mean, it's just kind of an average issue when really all applied together. So, I'm going to give this one a 7, just straight up and out. I don't dislike it, but there's nothing that's really popping out at me either. If they do manage to go full on straight, Starling is a villain, I'm down with that. I'm interested. I would really like to see that play out. But something tells me that this is going to be the sort of thing of issue 21 or 22 is going to be Starling be like, I was just a double agent tricking you into tricking him. So, I don't know. I'm holding out hope, but I don't know for how long.